Hey guys, welcome to A Little Bit of Monica. I am super excited because you know what time it is. It's time for Iron Flame. So I am filming this after the fact, but I did go to one of the midnight release parties at my local Barnes & Noble, which local to me is still 30 minutes away, but it was worth it. So I had such a good time at that event and was able to pick up the books that night because my Amazon pre-order, it was a whole mess where like it said that it was supposed to be delivered on the 7th, but it didn't ship. And then the day before, like literally on Monday the 6th, I get the update that says it's not coming until the following Sunday. I think it's like the 12th or something. I was like, excuse me, I pre-ordered this in May. And like my pre-order is dated from when I submitted it in May. And you're gonna tell me I'm not getting it until a week later? I was pretty heated, but the update did come through and it's arriving on Wednesday the 8th, which is today actually that I'm filming this. I was way too exhausted to film anything yesterday. After staying out until midnight, and then I had a full day of work yesterday. It was like the busiest work from home day of work I've ever had, of course. And so this is the first time I'm actually sitting down to like go back over the midnight release party, but it was really fun and I took a ton of videos because I was super excited and I ended up dressing up which it took a lot of like self-hyping in order to like even walk into the store in costume because I had no idea what anybody else would look like. I had no idea the excitement other people would have. Obviously everybody there would be like more than just a casual fan because casual fans would just wait until they can get it at a normal hour, but I didn't know what anyone else would be doing or wearing, and I was kind of nervous, but I did it. I conquered my fears and some social anxiety and I did it, and I have some videos to prove it. So let's roll the tape. Walking into the Iron Flame midnight release in my full flight leathers. Oh, help me. I think everybody else looks normal in here, so this is going to be fun. Feel free to take one. From a stretch of our town, follow into beautiful places. We survived. It is almost midnight. Okay, so let me just kind of like recap what this midnight party looks like. So we went in at 8:30, which they kicked everybody out in the last like 10 to 15 minutes that the store was open because they close officially at 9 anyway. And so we were all like standing in line outside the store until like 9 o'clock, and that's when they came back out. And as we like entered into the building, they handed us our ticket for the midnight purchase, which was this little cute dragon card. And honestly, they didn't even need the tickets because like obviously I still have mine. Because there were not enough people there that they would run out of books. So like they knew as we were going in, they literally said like, here's your ticket, but like everybody here is gonna get a book, so it's not a huge deal. We ended up having way more copies than they like needed for that night, and I feel like that's a relief because a lot of places were not getting the numbers that they had hoped. My favorite indie store, they only got 15 copies of Iron Flame and the special edition of Fourth Wing, 15 copies of each. And they had posted that they were going to open at 11 p.m. But I was like, 15 copies? Like, I remember when they got not even the first edition of Fourth Wing. I remember when they got the regular print of Fourth Wing, and they only had 10 copies, and they sold out within hours of them like posting that they even had it. And so like I didn't think that 15 was gonna really go very far, but then the next day they were posting that they still had copies. So clearly they did not sell out, and I have regrets. Like, I wish I had gone to my indie instead of Barnes & Noble, but the Barnes & Noble party was still fun. Once we got inside, they had a like giveaway table. It wasn't really like, it was just some like little things to take. It wasn't, when I think giveaways, I think like prizes. I think things that you either like enter your name in for, or like a game that you win. That was not the case. It was literally just a table that you walk past and you get some freebies. So those freebies were this cute little tote bag. It's really not that much bigger than like a book or two, but it says, "I earned my dragon at Basgiath," and I love this. I think it's so cute, and I have no idea where I'm gonna put it because I have a bunch of tote bags that I can never display, but I still love it and I think it's beautiful. They also had bookmarks that says, "A fantasy like you've I can't read. Fantasy like you've never read before," a quote from Jennifer Armentrout. And then on the back, it is black, and it says, "The most brutally addictive fantasy I've read in a decade," from Tracy Wolff. So this is really cute, and I'm excited to have that bookmark. And then they also had some stickers that say Dragon Rider, and I think they had some like temporary tattoos that I didn't pick up because I didn't want them, but they did have a couple different like trinkets here and there. They had a couple of activity tables spaced like throughout the store. One that I did not participate in was they had like a table with a box full of rubber bands, and you're supposed to take a rubber band and put it on your wrist, and there was like a note on the table explaining the activity that like it was one of those like secret word things where like if you hear someone, a forbidden word, actually it wasn't a secret word, it was the forbidden word, and if you heard someone say this forbidden word, you called them on it, and then they had to give you their rubber band. But the secret word, or like the forbidden word, was flame. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's so hard. Like, so nobody could say the name of the book without like losing their rubber band, which I guess was part of the fun, is like they wanted it to be more often that it was happening. I didn't even pick up a rubber band because I was like, I don't plan on like, I don't know. It's not that it wasn't fun, because I think other people did have some fun with it, but it just felt like kind of weird. Like, it just didn't seem like the best activity, especially because most people were keeping to like their small groups of people that they came with. And so like who would I be stealing it from other than like my husband or my sister? Like, I don't know. So I did not do that. But then there was also a whiteboard that you could write your Iron Flame predictions, and some of them were wild. I like fake gagged. Someone wrote that Violet and Dane were endgame. Like, clearly this was a place for lots of jokes, but also like lots of, you know, who knows. I think some of them were like, Violet's dad is not dead, which I think is unlikely. I think given the nature of the ending of Fourth Wing, I don't think that we have to worry about him also. No. But then like who they think is going to die, or what they think is going to happen to the dragons, or just like all these kinds of predictions. Some of them were very funny, some of them were genuine, and some of them were clearly a joke. I at least hope that the Violet and Dane one was a joke, but I don't know. And then there was another table across the store that was for like, I think it had some coloring pages and crayons, and then they also had face paint and temporary tattoos. I didn't do anything with this table. I just walked past it. I just wasn't interested, but there were plenty of people who were having a good time with that, and it was super fun. Unrelated to Fourth Wing or Iron Flame, but I did pick up a couple of books for myself there. They had the Hurricane Wars. I've been looking at this for a long time. Anybody who knows me knows I love storms. I love all things about the weather, because I wanted to be a meteorologist / storm chaser when I was younger, and this sounded like it was pretty interesting, something about storm magic, which I love. So I picked this one up also because My husband also thought it sounded interesting, and so did my sister, and we can share books. So I got that. And then I also got The Reformatory, which is Tananarive Dew's brand new book, and I'm super excited to get this because I have not read from her yet, but I've heard so many good things, and I heard her talk over the summer, I think it was. I honestly don't remember how long ago that was, but I did hear her talk in a panel about horror, and I absolutely was like, I need to read a book. I do have a like short story collection, I think, from her. I just haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I saw this and it's super pretty. I love the coloring on it, and so I picked it up because why the heck not. And then in the meantime, so we got there at 9 o'clock, like the event started at 9, but you're not allowed to check out until midnight. So one of the other activities they had scheduled for the night was a trivia time, which was at 10:30, so it was like exactly halfway through the evening, which was actually really good timing on their part. I think it worked out really well. So basically we just got these like blank sheets of paper. It was actually the coloring pages that they just like turned around. I didn't do the coloring pages, but it was a color your patch. Yeah, I didn't do it, but we just literally, like, there were 40 questions and we just wrote our answers on the page. Some of them were worth like multiple points. So like the first question was name the 3 titles of the different sections in the wing. So like the claw section, the tail section, or the flame section, and you got a point for each one that you got. Some of them were a little easier than others, like what is Basgiath? And some of them were a little bit harder, like what type of dragon does Dane have? Or what type of dragon does Liam have? And like some of them, you're like, you know, I feel like I remember the color, but not the type of dragon. It was kind of stressful. We got a couple of the dragon questions, but some of those were really hard. I think some of my favorite ones were, the one question was, what is the name of Violet's dad? And everybody was like making up ridiculous names because nobody could remember. We were all completely clueless. And so like when at the end, when she's like going over the answers and people were like shouting out their answers, like none of them were even remotely like realistic names. And then she said, yeah, well, there is no name. So if you just left it blank, you actually got a point. So we got a point for leaving the space blank because we didn't know his name. But then I think the one I'm the most proud of was my husband's answer. So the question was, what's the title of the book that Violet's dad leaves her, that like he read to her when she was younger and that she like read all the time during Fourth Wing? And I'm not even kidding, there was no hesitation. My husband literally immediately said, oh, Fables of the Baron, and writes it down. And then when we were going over the answers at the end, people were like shouting out their answers when they like know it's correct. Nobody else thought about that. Like nobody else called out their answer because nobody else thought they knew it. And I think we might have been the only people that got that question, which was pretty impressive. So that one was really fun. And yeah, there were 40 questions. Like the quiz went on forever. Like it just kept going. And they were themed. So like each 10, so like the first 10 were about like the writer's quadrant in particular, and then the second section was more about signets and like rankings and things like that. And then the third section was about dragons, like all about the dragons. And the last section was more about like, I want to say like interpersonal problems, like how many people attacked Violet in her bedroom, who was the teammate that died on the gauntlet, who was Taryn's previous writer, things like that is kind of more like people related. And yeah, so those were really fun. By the end, I actually don't know how many points you could actually get with all of the like multiple point questions, but we got 35 points, which I think was really impressive. Out of 40 questions, we got 35 points. So like we didn't quite get 35 questions correct, just because we did get a couple of the like multi-point ones, but we got 35 correct. And let me tell you, we won. We won trivia night. We had the most. The table next to us said that they got 34 questions correct, so they were only one behind us. But yeah, we somehow managed to pull out a win on Fourth Wing trivia. Granted, Matt and I did both just reread Fourth Wing in the past week. So like some of that information was really fresh in our minds, but some of it also, like, it didn't matter how many times I would read it, I would not have remembered the details. So yeah, that was really fun. Our prize, we each got a pencil that says "I earned my dragon at Best Guy." It matches the tote bag. So this is super cute. I'm like never gonna sharpen it because then it would be gone, but super cute pencil. And then our other prize was we got to be first in line at midnight to actually check out with the books, which like everybody knew they were gonna get a book. I mean, it was ticketed anyway, like to make sure that everybody would get one that had arrived on time. So I wasn't like you were worried about like getting through the line in time, but it was really nice to be able to be at the front and like get in, get out kind of thing, especially because of being 30 minutes away. Like, it was really nice. So that was fun. That was a nice little prize. They did have the Starbucks open as well in the cafe because that's where the trivia took place, and they had some like specialty drinks that had been put on the chalkboard, and I don't even remember what some of them were. All I remember is that the Dane drink it was like brown apple brown sugar and water something like that. And I was like, the fact that like all the rest of them are like chai tea and you know, frappuccinos or like stuff like that, and then Dane's is like something and water. It just made me laugh that that was like the one that was drastically different from a lot of the other drinks. My sister ended up getting the Rhiannon drink, and I don't actually remember what it was. I think it was, I want to say that one might have been like a brown sugar chai or something. The one that I ended up getting was the Riddick drink, and it was, I just wasn't feeling coffee even though it was almost midnight. It was like 10 o'clock I think when we got our drinks, and I probably should have had coffee to keep me awake, but I ended up getting a strawberry and cream frappuccino, which I absolutely loved. It was delicious, although the paper straw dissolved halfway through the drink, and then I was like struggling for my life there to get the rest of the drink out. But yeah, it was really tasty, and I thought that it was so fun that they had all of the themed drinks, like specialty mixes. And on the counter by the checkout in the cafe, they had a little whiteboard that people could vote on their like top rider. And so like it had all of the main people, and somebody voted for Dane, and I don't know who it was, but like, what's wrong with you? Almost everybody was voting for Liam, and rightfully so. But I went with my boy Riddick because I was already getting his drink, and I was like, you know what? Give him some love. He's fantastic. He's hilarious. And so I voted for him, although my husband and my sister both voted for Liam. And again, rightfully so, because he deserves it. But yes, so that was kind of all the fun and games, I think, of the evening. I don't think I'm missing anything. But then came the time, and we were at the front of the line for the checkout. So we had like, they had a countdown to midnight. They were getting the books unpacked. They had literal boxes and boxes of them. Like, they had plenty. Like, there was no worry that anybody would not have gotten a copy. So once the time came, we finally got up to the counter, and I was able to get the special holiday edition of Fourth Wing with the black sprayed edges. And I kind of did flip through it. There's a little bit of like glue that's kind of like on the edge a little bit, but overall, I'm really, you know, happy with the quality here. I did not like read through this copy to make sure that all the pages are there, because I do know some other people have been having issues with pages being out of order, which is like a weird problem to have multiple times. But yeah, so have the like nice fancy end pages, and it's just a really beautiful copy, and I cannot wait to display this because it's just so pretty. So I love that one. And then also, ta-da, got the copy of Iron Flame, and oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Like, come on. The sprayed edges look really nice on this copy as well. I think like from having it, it's starting to chip a little bit. There's like a spot right here. But I don't think it was like that when I brought it home. I think that's probably from me reading it. So like, it's not the best, but also like it came in good condition, so that's what's important there. I also did the regular maintenance checks on this to make sure, you know, pages weren't upside down, maps were right side up, you know, it looks like all the pages should be there correctly. Not that I have read through all of it yet, because I haven't. I did start the book. I started it yesterday. after my workday ended, and I read the first 11 chapters. I am buddy reading this with Michelle from Michelle's library because we also buddy reread Fourth Wing last week. So we are buddy reading this together. So we are going to pace it a little bit. We're not going to just like binge it all in one day. We read the first 109 pages. We typically do like 100 pages a day-ish for our buddy reads. Yesterday we did 109. We're not necessarily like dead set on sticking to the 100-page limit every day. We might go a little bit longer if we want to get through it a little bit quicker, but we are kind of pacing ourselves over the course of a couple of days just to savor this book, because like once you've read it for the first time, you never can read a book for the first time a second time. So we're going to take our time a little bit with it. So yes, this was really pretty. And then when we got home, I think it was actually yesterday morning, my husband started reading this book before I did because he read it while I was working. It's fine. We are sharing the copy. I do have an Amazon pre-order that's coming later today. Like I'm filming this on Wednesday and it's supposed to come today. So like we'll have 2 copies after this, but we were sharing this copy yesterday. He read it while I was working and he made the discovery when he went to start reading it. This is the copy we got, right? And this is what happened. He went to, you know, he opens the front cover. He goes to take the dust jacket off. He realizes that we got 2 full dust jackets on our copy of Iron Flame. Just like both of them are perfectly fine. They're, you know, both nice quality. No, nothing like wrong with them. I know some people said like some of it looked like the printing was like shadowed almost, like the printing was just really bad. Like no, these look really great. I have no issues with it. We got 2 dust jackets on this copy, which honestly I kind of love because I do know a lot of people who have been saying that their Amazon pre-orders are coming in damaged. And so like if the dust jacket is damaged, guess what? I have a bonus one that I can just throw on the Amazon copy instead. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, I don't understand how this happened. I mean, it's like they probably just stuck together when like they went to get, you know, put on the books, but they weren't stuck together. It's not like we had to like pry them apart. Like it was just like 2 there. So it you know, we got 2 dust jackets, so that's pretty fun. Just kind of made it a little bit more unique for us. And I did get this off my shelf because I was lucky enough to, I think probably one of the like final people to be able to get the first edition of Fourth Wing off of Amazon before they like went out of stock. I ordered this back in May. As soon as people started talking about the book, I ordered this and it came 2 days later, you know, Amazon 2-day shipping. And I think it was like maybe 2 days after I received my copy that Amazon like ran out of the first editions. And so that's when like the madness started of people trying to like find and track down the special first edition. So like I'm very happy that I was able to get this before they sold out. So now I have the special first edition and I have the holiday edition, and I also have 2 dust jackets worth for Iron Flame, plus the copies that I'm getting from Amazon today. I will either probably just return them or maybe sell them online, or I don't know what I'll do with them. Maybe I will try my hand at like stenciled edges or something because I'll have 2 copies and it's okay if I mess up on one. I don't know what I will do yet. However, those are the ones I have. I'm super excited. Like I said, I'm only into I'm at chapter 12 today. So I still have a long ways to go. But I am already just like so happy and so excited to be reading this, and I'm gonna stop talking so that I can get back into reading. I will provide some vlog updates because I'm just super excited about reading this book. So stay tuned for some very excited vlog updates. Hi, due to some very poor planning on my part, I ended up splitting this video into 2 because my vlog updates ended up being a lot more than I thought they would be. So I decided to split this video into like my vlog about the midnight release party and actually getting Iron Flame, and there will be a separate video about my actual vlog updates for Iron Flame, which I will have linked in the description of this video so that you can go and make sure that you catch that. I am going to be starting the video with relatively spoiler-free reactions, so you can see my reactions while I'm reading but not actually know what's happening when I'm reading, which is going to be really funny, I think. And then at the end, I will recap all of the things with a spoiler section. So I will make sure that everything is labeled appropriately. But if you want to actually follow my reactions to my reading with like my actual vlog updates, that'll be in a separate video that I'll have linked below. So obviously I'm look completely different because I'm filming this after I already started the other updates, but please feel free to leave comments in the description if you went to your own midnight release party and how that went. Let me know. If you are reading this book and you're really excited, let me know that, or maybe you don't plan on reading it at all. Also, let me know if you've ever gone to a midnight release party for any other books and what that might have looked like, because it's been a long time since I've been to one and I don't think a lot of places have them anymore, so this was a really fun time for me. So please, I would love to hear other people's opinions and what you're thinking about the release parties, the whole experience of the release. I know a lot of people had damaged books, things like that. I just want to hear about all of it. So please let me know in the comments your thoughts, and especially if you are excited to be reading this book as well. If you don't want to leave a full comment, but you still want to let me know that you were here throughout the whole video, drop me an emoji below. I'd say leave a dragon emoji, and if you plan to hop over to watch my Iron Flame vlog as well, leave a dragon and a flame emoji to let me know that you're gonna go do that. So hopefully I will see you in my next video, which will be my Iron Flame reaction vlog. So I will see you over there. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.